And it actually is an iPhone app, but it works on here. So what it does is it can take a picture, okay? So, I'll show you right here. You can take a picture of this.
So this is something that you could do, Patrick, at school. That's why she's showing us.
Okay? So I just took a picture of that sheet right there. Okay? I'm going to press use. And then I usually just do this little icon here.
And then
because it goes out, and then I process it.
And then how do you write?
Okay. Now, so what I do next, that's the first app. The second app is called iAnnotate, and that's $10, okay? So how do I write on it? This is how I do it. I press this right here, and I want to open it in iAnnotate. Okay, so now here it is. Now, number one, I can blow it up, which is very cool. But I can also use my finger to do the work. And if I needed to type something, I create text boxes with this little typewriter here. I can say, this is important. Okay. So I can do my work like that. I can also, there's other things like captions and highlights and underline. There's all kinds of different tools. Once I complete my, what I like first off is that we can just blow it up.
Right.
But we're able to actually take a worksheet and modify it this way if it's easier than doing all those little writing in tiny places.
So
and the other thing that's very cool, look at this. If you press this here and you pick the flattened version, this is going to email right back to the teacher. And they can see exactly what he did.
So what if it's like, what do I do after? Oh, like writing things. So if I want to, like, she usually said in 5th grade we usually write a poem. And then what could I do with this to do?
Well, because let's just say you have to write a poem, so there's no worksheet. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
You just want to write a poem. So we can do a couple things, okay?
Why don't we do that next? Why don't you tell me about how he could fill those boxes in using either a keyboard or on the device itself?
Well, that
was it.
That was it there. So
I guess I missed that.
So here is here's another worksheet. So he can use his finger to do that, or he can create text boxes by pressing the typewriter here.
Okay.
But
then, you also can use an external keyboard, right?
You could, but that complicates it because it's a Bluetooth keyboard.
Right.
So when you enable the Bluetooth keyboard, you disable the touch.
Okay.
So that gets a little tricky because then you're typing it, but then you can't press it to move it. So it's almost better to use this keyboard because there's times when you type, let's just say, you'd actually maybe want to, you might need to rotate it or move it. So you wouldn't have that feature, you'd be disabling the Bluetooth on and off, and I think that would get kind of tedious and tiresome on that part. So.
And he'll learn how to type on that.
Yeah, I think motor-wise you'd be fine with this. So, okay, let's see what this is. So the other app that's really good is this is $7.99. It's called Office 2HD, but this gives you a document means Microsoft Word, workbook is Excel, PowerPoint would be presentation. It gives you all 3 applications on here. So what you were saying is if you just needed to maybe type a poem, let's just say this is your poem. You have a blank screen. You can just start typing. Okay? And then let's just put my poem here, and I'm going to save this. But then, let's say you need to give that to the teacher. You would just email the file, and it would attach right next to it, and he emails it. Okay? Now, you ready for this part?
Yeah.
If you got the 2, you know what? I have.
And then after this, I want to show you. I want to show you another app.
You'll show me something? Okay. So let me show you, this is an iPad 2. I personally have an iPad 3. I'm going to show you the difference just so you guys see how it works. But let's just say that you have the 2. if you go into Dragon Dictation, this is a free app.
Woohoo.
Yeah, no, it's going to be tricky like this.
That's what happened with my dad's phone. It kept saying okay.
Yeah.
And
Let's get out of here and do this then. Okay. Where is it? It only gives us 2 hours, and then we have to log back in each time. Okay. So, all right. So say we're in Dragon Dictation, and let's see.
that what happened to my friend's mom's phone. It usually, when I type her number, when I hold it to my ear, it doesn't ring, and then I have to go
2
to
hours,
her,
yeah.
and then she has to type her password.
It takes a little bit of time. All right, so this is a brand new one. I'm just gonna tap right up here where the record button is. Okay.
Yeah.
Today is Thursday. Period. It is hot outside. Period. Pretty smart, isn't it? So it just.
So you tell it, so you don't have to do the caps, it does that, you just do the periods.
Yes. Now, let's say, because it's not always good, or maybe sometimes you don't talk as clear as you should, or you say someone's name and it doesn't get it. You always have this little keyboard down here at the bottom, so you can go back in and fix it. Maybe I was excited it was Thursday, so I wanted to put an exclamation point. So you can do things with it, okay?
So like last year, only Fridays I usually have a spelling test.
Mm-hmm.
And what if I'm going to record when I'm saying like?
No, you couldn't do a spelling test that way.
Spelling test would be tricky because it would probably correct it, and I don't want to do much of a spelling test. Yeah, but it's a good thought, though. So the other thing, though, what is cool about this, if you press this here, you can just say you wanted to email someone. It would put it right in an email for you. But what you can also do is, let me do this first. I'm going to highlight on this, and I'm going to press copy. Press OK, and then I'm going to double click. This is how you get to your apps pretty fast. And now I'm going to go back into that poem, and it's just smart, and it's going to remember what I put. So I basically cut and paste in between there. Now, in the iPad 3, it's going to be even nicer than this, and I'll show you that in just a minute. So, but the other one, so this is a way that you could do. Why I like Dragon Dictation, or even if you're using the dictation feature, is, I don't know about you, but a lot of times when I'm getting ready to maybe answer a question in a test, I always can't write fast enough. Like, I have all these great thoughts in my mind, and then I go to write it, and then I'm like, darn, I forgot it.
Mm-hmm.
Why I like this dictation is it's almost like a mind mapping thing, to where he could just kind of blurt out some points, like it was like, who was the main character's story? And he could just maybe blurt some things out so that as thoughts are on there, then he can always go back and tweak it and make it complete sentences or add details to it, but we haven't forgotten it. The other reason I like it is because I feel like some kiddos might just put a real short answer because it's just easier to write, but they actually got some really good stuff going on. So this way you could get it all out. You could get all those really important details out and show them what a great writer you are, but yet it won't be as hard and as frustrating because you won't have to write it.
Yeah, because what I do is, like, the main characters are, I forgot, so I have to go back on the story, and
it gets frustrating.
Like, I have to find it.
Yeah.
Where the heck is it?
Yes, it gets frustrating. The other app, and this is another one that requires, so not every app requires Wi-Fi service. Like, if I'm in Office 2 HD, I could be working on this in the car, and it's not going to matter because it's just saving a document. But there's Dragon Dictation is one. It does pull from the wireless to work. And this other one I'm going to show you is called Speak Text, and that requires it also. So, watch this. So here's my email. You see where I am? This is my mail right here. So I emailed myself, and I emailed myself all of these iPad documents, okay? When I click on one of these, this thing always disappears. If you ever want it to come back, just click it again, okay? So I'm going to say open in. Now, look at all of these choices I have. These are all apps I could possibly open this document in.
Okay.
Okay? If I wanted to mark up with my finger, If I wanted to highlight it, if I wanted to create text boxes, I would do iAnnotate, the first one I showed you. But if I actually wanted to change something or add something or actually edit the document, then I would want to do Office 2 HD. Like go back into Microsoft Word, add a paragraph or something like that.
Okay.
The next one I'm going to do is speak text. And again, this needs the wireless. And I'm going to say speak from start to end.
iPad Basic. iOS
So it's going to
devices.
read it to me.
iPad.
Okay?
iPod.
Not
iPhone.
because I think you can't read.
iOS
But I don't know about you, sometimes it's better to see it highlighted and to hear it just to process it better. So I feel like it's a really good,
Yeah.
I've had kids even do headphones, you know, like just to have it read back to them.
And you can read it along with it.
iPad.
Yeah, and on
10 hours
Wiki I
battery.
usually do
9 hours battery on
wrestlers
3G.
and I always
Glossy display.
like lose my place when
16
I go to
32
talk.
64
Yeah,
GB
so I mean this is a
Wi-Fi
good,
3G.
this is a good app for that
Internal
because I
mic.
feel like it keeps you on track, keeps you on focus and things like that.
Yeah.
Actually, you go ahead, I'm going to grab my other iPad.